Alright, it's your favorite math geek here. I'm just showing you guys quickly another way to do this problem 24. And this way is a little bit simpler, and I like it more. The other one, you're kind of playing around with the polynomials a little bit more. This one, what I'm going to suggest to you is just remember that you can write a square root as a polynomial raised to a power, and that when you divide by a polynomial, you just subtract the powers. So let's go through and do this. So my first step is I converted the square root to a polynomial, just like in my other solution for question 24. And now I'm factoring out the term and basically just dividing each term separately by x squared. And that is a terribly written sentence. Just pretended I didn't write that. And yeah, that was someone else. Anyways. Okay, and so just moving what we had at the bottom of the screen up top, so we got a little bit more room here. Remember that when you divide by a polynomial by another polynomial, you have to subtract the powers. So that just becomes, the first term becomes x to the power of 1/2 minus 2, because 2 is on the downstairs. And the second term becomes x to the power of 1 minus 2, because you can think of the x on the top as x raised to the power of 1. And so now in order to subtract the 2, you probably want to convert it into a fraction, and minus 2 is the same as minus 4 over 2, or 4/2. All right, and then you just perform that calculation and you get x to the power of negative 3 over 2, because 1/2 minus 4/2 is negative 3/2. And for the second part, you're just rewriting it. Now that all the prep work is done, you basically just take the derivative, you separate the two terms and do the derivatives individually, because it's a higher order polynomial. All that you do is you move the power in front and you subtract by 1. And that's pretty much it. The math here is pretty simple. I mean, I convert the negative 1 to a fraction of negative 2 over 2. Negative 3/2 minus 2 over 2 is the same as negative 5/2. And of course, minus 1 minus 1 is simply minus 2. And the old powers are just in front of both expressions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, if you liked this video and it made it a little bit easier to understand how to do the problem, consider subscribing, as I'll be doing more videos in this chapter in the future. If there's a specific problem you're stuck on, just consider emailing it to me, and I'll do my best to see if I can solve it when I have time. And as always, thanks for all the support the community's given me, and thank you again.